Hi, Brandon. Thanks for joining me today. I'm excited to learn more about your experience. Let's jump right in. Can you start by walking me through your background and how it relates to the product manager role we have at Dash, specifically focusing on your experience with web application migration projects?
Sure, I've been doing that for 3 years and I've done many projects like that.
Okay, that's good to know. Could you elaborate on the size and complexity of these web application migration projects you've worked on? For instance, how many users were impacted? And what were some of the biggest technical challenges you faced?
So I'm demoing JobPreps.com's mock interview tool. This tool allows you to interview for any job posting that you want, generic or specific. So right now I'm interviewing for a product manager position at Dash companies, and specifically I am going for a specific job posting that I found on LinkedIn. I just copied and pasted the job description here, and it knows to interview me like an employee of that company for that posting. There are other settings you can control here: the seniority level, the interview style. This can get very challenging if you want it to, the personality, and then the format as well. You can also post things like your resume in here, so it has access to that and any custom instructions. This is where you would add info on maybe things you want to focus on. If you want to focus on not saying filler words or focus on specific skill areas that you want to go over, you can put that here as well. This gives interview feedback throughout. As you saw over here, my first answer was not very good. So it gave me feedback saying that I needed to go into more detail. This can also be good feedback here. So if you did something well, it'll also post it here. And then the AI also has access to this editor. You can type in here, it can put problems there. So if you need to work through problems on an editor, you can do so. It can even handle code. And then you also have access to a whiteboard if you want, where you can do more work if you need it. And then to actually show the AI what's in this editor, if you want to, you can just hit the Show AI button. Let's continue. What was the question?
My question was about the scale and complexity of the web application migration projects you've worked on. I'm looking for details such as the number of users affected and the significant technical challenges you encountered.
Yeah, it was about 10,000 users affected.
Okay, 10,000 users is a significant number. Can you describe a specific instance where you had to make a critical decision that significantly impacted the project's outcome and how you approached that decision?
So we're going to end the interview here and kick it into review.
Okay, I'm now ready to provide a comprehensive review of your performance, Brandon. Let's get started with the ratings. Okay, I have generated the performance ratings. Here's a breakdown of your performance, Brandon. Overall, your experience in web application migration is definitely relevant to the role. However, there are some areas that would require further exploration and development. Strengths, experience, relevance. You have a good background in web application migration projects,
How would
which
you
is
have
crucial
answered the
for this
last
role.
question that you asked me?
Could you please repeat your response? I didn't catch all of it.
Yeah, how would you have answered the last question that you asked me?
Ah, you're curious about how I would have answered the last question. I asked about a critical decision you made during a project and how you approached it. I was looking for a response that would demonstrate your decision-making process and problem-solving skills. For example, outlining the specific challenge, the different options you considered, the data you analyzed, and ultimately, how you made a decision. This should include what factors led you to choose that particular approach and the final impact on the project. Does that clarify things?
Yeah, so end the interview there. It gives us ratings and our feedback. We can click through the ratings and see why it gave us that. All this is stored for you, so you can see previous interviews. You can look at the recap, which includes the rating and feedback. You can filter down in here, so if you want to see how you did on challenging interviews, um, um, then you can filter that as well, and your stats will update over here. You can filter for any of these categories if you want, and then you can even start a coaching session, which will use your filtered interview history down here. and it'll look at your feedback, it'll look at your ratings, and it'll come up with a tailored coaching session uh, going over the things that you need to learn to ace your next interview. You can also combine this with a job description. You can paste it in there. So it'll tailor the sessions based on your interview history and the specific job that you want to go to. So you don't even have to use your interview history if you want to use just a job description. And there are specific skills in that job description that are required. You can go over those specific skills and learn about them.